Okay, we're just gonna rank. Number 1, we don't even need to look at, really. It's Zain. No arguments there, probably. 2, I think, is Mango. I think number 3 and 4 are aMSa and Cody. I don't know who is who. I think Cody's 1 a bit more. But aMSa's records are really good. But aMSa's down to Cody. So aMSa's down to Cody really hard. Winning on Zain, winning on Jmook, winning on HBox, winning on Leffen, down on Plup, winning on Lod, down on none, and then winning on like everybody else, except he's down on me as well. And he's even with Joshy. But Cody's down on me and down on Joshy. That is actually so comparable. Cody's records are good too. But the thing is he has some like worse losses. I hate judging people for worse losses. You have to take it into account though. It's such a toss-up. I think it's Cody number 3 though. Like Ludwig's thing could change it a lot, but I think it's Cody number 3. I'll put iBDW here, and then I'll put aMSa 4. And then it's HBox. It's not a question. And then it's Jmook number 6, 100%. Then numbers 7 and 8 are Plup and Leffen, I think. But it's probably Leffen, because Leffen has won like a major, and on top of that, Plup has, I think, a couple more worse losses. Because Plup, he won the tournament against Magi, but he dropped a set to Magi, and he also dropped a set to Ginger. Plup has had a good year too, but Leffen overall is like, we can look at the results, but I think it'll be Leffen and then Plup. So Leffen, even with Zain, up on Cody, down on Jmook, up on HBox, down on aMSa, up on Plup, even with Lod, up on Kadoran, down on Mango, down on me, up on Joshman, down on Slug, and then he's also down on Sunsei. And then Plup is even with Zain, down on Cody, even with Jmook, up on HBox as well, up on aMSa, up on Lod, up on Kadoran, down on Mango. Dude, this is hard. They're really close, but Leffen won Battle of BC. He won a major. I'm gonna give it to Leffen, because I think winning's a big deal. I think placements actually don't mean shit unless you win. I think if you win, it matters a lot. If you don't win, who cares? Because there's some really dumb tournaments where people just get bracket fucked. You know, I guess use myself as an example. Big House. I'll even pull up the bracket quick. Because I got outplaced by Fiction, but I think overall I had like a better run. I know a lot of people look at placements. I think the only placement that matters is if you win. Because if you win, even if you get like a Mickey Mouse bracket and you win by beating a bunch of people who upset someone, like imagine you win like a major and you don't have to play like Mango or Zain or someone. aMSa's Big House is actually a good example of that, where in semis he played Sunsei instead of Plup or Leffen. But that's not his fault. He still beat everybody, and he did the best he could possibly do at that tournament. It's not his fault. It's like at Function, too. It's like, I got second. I had a great losers run, and I beat a bunch of people. I think it should count more for Ginger, because he didn't lose at all. That shouldn't hurt him. Like, how is he supposed to do better than that? Lose early? No. He just won and beat everybody, and that's the best you can do. Where is his bracket? 1 second. Yeah, so Fiction at Big House. He beat, I think, Spark, Aklo, SFAT, Pipsqueak, and he made top 8. And I beat Essie, Sir Maris, Leffen, and Axe. And then I got 9th and he got top 8. And I lost to Zing and HBox, and he lost to Jmook and HBox, but his bracket was just like significantly easier than my bracket was. Like I had to beat 2 people who are potentially in top 10 in order to just get 9th, and he didn't have to make a single upset. And that is why placements don't matter that much. You can just get like really good brackets and they don't indicate the actual run that you had. Matters for top 8. I actually don't think getting top 8 matters that much. I think it matters if you actually get a good win to get there. Otherwise it's like head-to-head matters the most. I think Mango can still get first. Yeah, it's if Mango wins Luds, then I think he might be first. But if anyone else wins Luds, then it's probably Zain, unless Zain just gets absolutely shat on. There's a world where Mango gets like 3rd at Luds and Zain just gets 13th. And in that case, then I think Mango would be number 1. Plup is number 8. Number 9, this is what I have in my head. I think Slug and then Kadoran. So I think in terms of the rankings, the tier is Kadoran, Axe, and Lod are in a tier. But I think the fact that Lod hasn't gone to stuff. I know Lod's first half of the year was really good, but he hasn't gone to stuff. I know he's a doctor, but that's still, I think, unfair to the people who are going to a lot. So I would put him lower. Let's look at Kadoran. Okay, so Kadoran is down, hasn't taken a set on Zain, has taken a set on Cody, but down. 04, it's taken a set on HBox, but super down. Down on Lod, down on Mango, but take a set. Up on Fiction really hard, up on me, up on Ginger, down on Joshman, down on Johnny, up on Aklo, even with Polish, up on Magi, up on Spark, up on SFAT, up on Pipsqueak. Like, he's been doing, like, I guess he has some losses that are not the best, but he also goes to literally everything. I'm happy putting Kadorn there. But I guess we'll look at Axe as well. Oh my god, we have to scroll so far down to get to Axe. Okay, Axe has a set on Zain but down. Hasn't taken a set on Cody. Even with Jmook, even with Lod, even with None, even with Kadoran. Up on Fiction, even with me, even with Ginger, even with Johnny. Up on Slug, even with Pip. Up on Sunsei, up on Lucky, up against the field. He lost to Mech. It's probably his worst, right? I think it's close. I think Kadoran and Axe and Lod are really close. I'm going to go with Kadoran 10, Axe 11, Lod 12. And I know that Lod 12 might be controversial, but he really hasn't gone to, like, anything. We'll look at Lod's stuff, and it is really good, but he just hasn't gone to much. Like, he's up on Zain, even with Leffen, even with None, up on Kadoran, even with Mango. Good wins, and then he hasn't lost. He lost to Joshman, and then he's even with Axe, and he hasn't lost to, like, anyone else. But he hasn't really gone to much. Lod has gone to the same amount as Slug. Yeah, but Slug has also just, like, done better as a whole. Like, look at this. Slug up on Zain, down on Cody, up on Jmook, up on Leffen, up on None, up on Kadoran, up on Mango, down on Fiction, even with me, down on Ginger, up on Joshman, up on S2J, up on Aklo, up on Polish, up on Crudo, up on Magi, up on Spark. Like, that is so good. I don't think it's a question. I think Slug 100% is number 9, and it's set in stone. Lod's only 12 because he's a fucking doctor. He has the best results of that group by far. Like, I don't think you can make exceptions for why people are inactive. It's like when people try to put Wizzy as, like, top 15 right now. It's like you can't really make excuses or, like, exceptions for people. Here's the thing. Hasn't he gone to the same or more as Plup? And we're still giving Plup 8? Okay, has he gone to the same? Okay, let's look. Let's actually look. Okay. Plup has gone to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then Lod has gone to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 if you count, so you're okay. If you're okay with inactivity, then Wizzy is top 10. That's just not true at all. Because Wizzy hasn't really done shit this year. He hasn't even really, like, beaten anyone. Like, I think he's taken a set on Axe and a set on aMSa, but he doesn't have, like, winning records. I don't think Wizzy should be ranked. I also don't like that people give Wizzy the benefit of the doubt with it in the era where everyone's losing to everyone. Like, we talked about how hard it is and how everyone's getting bad losses, but then people are also like, yeah, but Wizzy's, like, still top 10 because they're going off of him being top 10 before everyone started losing to everybody. It's, like, so fucking different now this year compared to last year. So, like, you can't really give anybody exceptions or, like, legacy bias, I think. How is Lod ranked but not Wizzy? Lod's gone to more than Wizzy. Even though he hasn't gone to that much, he's still gone to more than Wizzy. Wizzy's gone to 2 invitationals and 2 open brackets. One of them where he still dropped a set to meds. And then the 2 invitationals, he didn't even have the chance to get, like, a bad loss or anything because they were invitationals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, like, the same amount. I mean, Plup has to be 8, and I think Slug has to be 9. And if we're saying that, does that mean Lod has to be 10? Because he has gone to, like, the same amount as them, even though it does feel wienery to do. I think we wouldn't feel this way if his results were this good and they were all in the second half. I think that's actually a good point. All right, chat, I think I have to do it. I think I'm moving him here because I think that is a fair point. I think if we're putting Plup and Slug here with the same amount of tournaments, then we have to put Lod here. And it does probably just feel worse because Lod's tournaments were earlier in the year, whereas, like, Slug's were later in the year and Plup's were kind of scattered. So I think for them, it doesn't feel as bad because we're, like, it's more recent. Whereas for Lod, he went to a lot at the start and then he stopped going. Number 13, I think, is probably me. It's me or Fiction. Let's look at this. So me and Fiction. I think the thing with Fiction is Fiction doesn't have many good wins, but he also doesn't have any losses to worse players, other than this weekend to Fat Goku. But I think the fact that he does have a worse loss now means that I am probably over him, because I have, like, a couple worse losses, but I have a really good record against the top. Okay, so let's look at it. Fiction is down on Zain, down on Cody, down on Jmook, down on HBox, down on aMSa, up on None, down on Kadoran, even with Mango. So that's Fiction's thing is he's even with Mango. Up on Ginger, up on Joshman, down to Johnny Bud's locals. Up on Slug, which is also good. Even with Aklo, down on Polish, up on Crudo, up on Magi, up on Spark. So up on Magi, up on Spark, up on SFAT, up on Pipsqueak, up on Null, up on Smash Daddy, down on Axe, up on Sunsei, up on Lucky, up on Salt, up on Bobby, on J-Flex, I mean, up on Soof, up on Logan. He doesn't have good win rates, but he's literally hasn't lost to people. Like, he doesn't have good win rates at the very top, but he hasn't lost to anybody. Where I have taken more losses, but my win rates are a lot better. Because I'm down on Zain, I'm up on Cody, down on Jmook, down on HBox, up on Leffen, up on aMSa, down on Kadoran, down on Mango, down on Ginger, down on Joshman, even with S2J, even with Slug, up on Aklo, up on Polish, down on Magi, up on Spark, up on SFAT, up on Pip, up on Geo, up on Swift, even with Axe, up on Kalindi, up on Sunsei at locals, up on Skurzo, up on Zamu, down on J-Flex, down on Aura, up on Zuppy at locals, up on Soof. Like, I have a bit more losses, but I have better wins, and now Fiction also lost to Fat Goku, and he got like 33rd or something at main stage. So I think it's probably me 13th, and then Fiction 14th. And then next is probably S2J, Joshman, Ginger, Pip as like a tier. 15 is either S2J, Ginger, Pip, Joshman, Aklo. Probably, right? Not Ginger. Ginger's had a good year. He's had a couple stinkers in terms of tournaments, but he won the function. He beat Plup at Genesis, and he's actually gotten some pretty good wins. No, I don't think Sunsei's in top 20 right now. I'll look at it, but he's in a weird spot because he didn't really go to like much at all, and he did really good at a couple tournaments, but those two tournaments he had the exact same bracket, so he doesn't even have many head-to-heads. Look, he hasn't played like anyone at the top. He's up 2-0 on Leffen, took a set on Kadoran but still losing, and then he's 2-1 on S2J, and then he's up on Pipsqueak. Literally his two best tournaments, he beat Leffen and Pipsqueak, and then one of them he also beat S2J, and the other one he also beat Kadoran. So like, he looks really good recently, but he hasn't gone to too much over the course of the year. And even then, the stuff that he went to and did good at, he did the same thing twice. So that's hard to actually rank because he hasn't had to play a lot of people still. He hasn't played a bunch of the other people at the top. And the other ones he did, he's lost to, you know? But I think right now he's probably, if I had to rank him, probably somewhere from like 21 to like 20, 23 or something. Like, I think Sunsei is still like top 25, but he doesn't have like the volume of tournaments that a lot of people have. Sunsei was this close to almost being top 10. No, I think he would need more than just one more tournament run. Because you can't get top 10 off of beating like Leffen and Pipsqueak 3 times. And I'm saying I love Miles. I think he's skill-wise good enough. But in terms of the results... Okay, S2J. Let's look at S2J. S2J is taking a set on Zain, a set on HBox, up on Kadoran, even with none, down on Mango, up on Fiction, even on me, up on Ginger, up on Joshman, down on Slug, up on Polish, Crudo, Spark, Null, Smash Daddy. Is it just S2J next? It has to be, right? We'll switch it if we need to, but I'm just gonna put them here and then we'll see. Like, this is really close to me and, like, it's very similar. And then Ginger, let's look at Ginger. So Ginger is up on Plup, down on Kadoran, down on Fiction, up on me, up on Slug. So he's up on me, Slug, and Plup, which is pretty good. Like, I saw a bunch of people in chat saying definitely not Ginger. That's not bad. That's actually good. Up on Crudo, up on Magi, up on Spark, down on Pipsqueak, down on Null, up on Swift, up on Swooper, down on Axe, down on Lucky, down on Skurzo, up on Salt, up on Bobby, no, I'm stupid, up on Zamo I meant, down on Ben, up on Aura, up on Zuppy, up on Mech, up on Panda, down on Gatsu, up on Cole. Okay, so Ginger is going to be probably the lower end of that. Pipsqueak. I think Pipsqueak's going to be pretty high because Pip is down to Jmook, but up on HBox, and up on None, up on Mango, and then down to a bunch of these people, up on Ginger, down to Joshman, even with Aklo, down on Crudo. Okay, Pipsqueak's weird because he has really good highs, and then he's also lost because he also lost like Dark Hero, lost to Wizzy. Do you think that's better or worse than Ginger? I feel like worse because Ginger did win the function. I think it's worse, but close. No way that Pipsqueak should be above Magi. Magi's head-to-heads, actually, I think aren't crazy. Down on Jmook, down on HBox, down on aMSa, down on Plup, but a set. Down on None, down on Kadoran, down on Fiction, up on me, down on Ginger, down on Joshman, down on Slug, up on Spark, down on Null, down on Swift, up on Smash Daddy, up on Axe, up on Soonsay, up on Lucky. I think that Magi will be like number 20 if she's in the top 20. She'll be like actually number 20. We'll put Magi, Wizzy, None, Soonsay, and we'll look at them after. We have to look at Joshy and Aklo. I don't want to rank Wizzy. Yeah, you know what? Hell no. We're not going to rank Wizzy. Wizzy has 5 tournaments, same as Plup. The thing is one of those tournaments was like not like a major. And one of them's off-season and one of them's like a regional. And even at that regional, he dropped a set to meds. Like, if you rank him, he's going to be very low, but I don't think he should even be ranked. Okay, Aklo. Up 2-0 on Cody, which is huge. Up on None, down on everyone else. Even with Fiction, down on me, down on Slug. Up on Polish, even with Pip, down on Swift, up on the Swooper, up on Skurzo, up on J-Flex, down on Zuppy, up on Toussaint, up on B-Bats. There's really not that much either for Aklo. I feel like I want to put Aklo below Pip and Ginger, because the 2-0 on Cody's good, but there isn't that much more. He doesn't have like the big wins, and then his records in this range as well aren't like the best. Yeah, I want to put Aklo below these guys, and then we can assess with this. But I think that's fair because Aklo's beaten Cody twice, which is good, but overall I think Ginger and Pip have both gone to more and also have higher peaks and more like across the board, I think, better records. Let's look at Joshy. Joshman has an argument for over Fiction. The thing is Joshman had a really bad Genesis. Joshman got like 65th at Genesis, where he lost to Crudo and John Wick. And then he didn't do good at main stage either, where he lost to SFOP and Skurzo. Okay, but he has up on Cody, even with aMSa, up on Lod, up on Kadoran. That is good. Up on me, down to them, up on Magi, down to Spark twice, yeah. Down to SFAT, up on Pipsqueak, up on Null, up on Kalindi, up on Soonsay. And then he has a couple worse losses as well. He has like really high highs and really low lows, but like this is good. This is really good, actually. Is he above Johnny? Johnny has a Zain win and an HBox win, but losing records. But Johnny's records here are so clean, and he doesn't have many bad losses. Okay, I'm gonna put Joshman 16. I'm happy with that, actually. I'm happy with that. I think that is fair, because Joshy's has some really good records, but Johnny has some really good ones too. And then 20 is Magi, None, Soonsay, probably. We can look at like Crudo as well. Let's look at Magi. So Magi is down on Jmook, down on HBox, down on aMSa, down set on Plup, down on None, down on Kadoran, down on Fiction, up on me, down on Ginger, down on Joshman, down on Slug, up on Spark, down to Null and Swift. Yeah, it's not Magi. She's up on Axe, me, and Plup, but she has, like, in this range, a lot of losses. Let's look at None. Okay, down on Zain, down on Cody, down on Jmook. Even with HBox is good. Up on aMSa is good. Even with Lod is good. Down on Mango, down on Fiction. Even with Johnny, down on Slug, down on Aklo. Down on SFAT, down on Pipsqueak, down on Null. Even with Axe, up on Kalindi, up on Lucky, up on Salt, down on Bobby. That chunk there is brutal of, like, just being down on a bunch of these people. I don't think it's Soonsay either. Because Soonsay is down on Zain, down on Jmook, up on Leffen, down on aMSa, down on Kadoran, but a set, up on Johnny, and then up on Pip as well. Like, he's up on... Like, I don't think Soonsay has enough volume to actually put him there. Because he also has lost to, like, Smash Daddy and shit. The reason I don't want to put him there, he's lost to Aura. I don't want to put him there because he hasn't really gone to that much. But I guess None hasn't gone to an insane amount either. Let's look at Crudo. Up on Cody, up on Kadoran, up on Joshman, up on Spark, up on Pipsqueak, down on Null, down on Bobby, up on Zamu. Man, this is hard.
I'm in love with Moky.
Is it just None? I think it might be None. Because, like, his first half wasn't bad, but it wasn't, like, I don't think it's as good as people say. And not to be a hater, I love Ed. But, like, this tournament, losing to Aklo and Fiction is not, like, super, super good. It's, like, not bad, but it's not super good. You know what I mean? It was mostly one tournament. Because the one tournament, he got a bunch of top 10 wins. I think it's None. I think this is my list. Yeah, this is my list. Forgot the 0? Okay, I'll put the 0.